She said, she'll take me anywhere, she'll take me anywhere, as long as she stays with me. She said, she'll take me anywhere, she'll take me anywhere, as long as I stay queen. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. Yes, yes, Molly's lips. And I did the Raw after WrestleMania, so I thought it's fitting. Let's talk about the Smackdown versus WrestleMania. And yeah, very cool. Fort Worth, Texas. And the show starts off with John Cena, and I thought, wait, he was on Raw recently. Well, anyway, so he comes out, and he doesn't get a word in edgewise, and here comes Randy Orton. So he comes out, and basically he's telling John that, hey, you know what? I know the real John Cena. This is not you. What happened? And, basically just trying to get under his skin. And John claps back or whatever. And they have to go back and forth. And basically John is like, alright, let's have a match at Backlash. Because Randy was like, well, let's have a match tonight. Well, yeah, so basically they're going to have a match at St. Louis in Backlash. And yeah, Randy's home in town. And John was like, yeah, and we're going to see what happens, and I'm going to embarrass you. And in front of your family and all that. And of course, Randy gave him an RKO. And held up the title, which at this point it's a cliche, but like, I don't know, I wish they wouldn't do that. But yes, in a few weeks it's going to be John Cena versus Randy Orton for the first time in 2012, I want to say. And yeah, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure what's going to happen in the next couple months with John Cena still being in the company after he retires. He has till December, so maybe he'll have the feud with Randy Orton, and yeah, who knows. But the fact that Orton is a face and John is a heel, that is an excellent change for once. So we have first surprise of the night. We have the debut of Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Yes, they lost the tag team titles at Stand and Deliver. So they made their debut on Smackdown against Los Garza, and this was a pretty cool match. So it'll be interesting to see what these two guys are going to do on SmackDown. And I thought, okay, so I'm not quite sure, but I thought that they were going to have their singles run after they lost the tag titles, but I think they can only do so much on NXT, so now they're on SmackDown. So it's going to be interesting to see when they're going to capture the titles. But this was a really good match against Los Garza. So you have Tiffany Stratton come out and basically talk about her match with Charlotte Flair and retaining the title, which I still think this was a good match. I don't care what anyone says, the lead-up was fine too. I believe these two legit hate each other, but I'm not sure. Anyway, she talks about winning at WrestleMania, and out comes Jade Cargill, and you almost got that cut the shit thing, but she just said cut it, so I throw back to the AEW days, I guess. So she's like, she wants a match with Tiffany Stratton, and so I think they're gonna have one at Backlash, but they had a no title contest, and yeah, Nia Jax made her return to SmackDown, and yeah, well, Naomi came out, and that caused the match, and then Nia came out. I can small a tag team match though, Naomi and Nia versus Tiffany and Jade, so that'll be interesting if it happens. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't know what more Jade and Naomi can do. And it's not that they don't mesh well, I just feel like, okay, they had their match. Why is Naomi attacking Jade? Like, I know she lost, but... So, yeah, Jacob Fatu coming out with Solo Sikoa, and honestly, I'm kind of surprised that the crowd really took to him. I mean, he's still with the Bloodline, there's still a heel faction, but I think it's like Dominic with the Judgment Day. I feel like Jacob Fatu has had, well, I mean, Jacob has more experience with other companies, and yeah, basically winning at Wrestlemania and taking the title from LA Knight was pretty cool. So he comes out and they cheer him, and Solo's like, this is all because of me, and Jacob takes the microphone and then he talks for a bit. Then out comes LA Knight, and then out comes Drew McIntyre. So they go back and forth, and there's a match to determine the number one contendership for the US title. Drew McIntyre versus LA Knight. These two know each other going way back to TNA, so that's pretty cool. And it's a no contest. So, we have this match. Zelina Vega versus Chelsea Green. A rematch for the US title. Yeah, this was pretty cool. And I mean, honestly, you didn't know which way this was going to go. I mean, there was a part where the two Scotsmen, Piper Niven and Kaylee Ray, were going to double fire. Rather, we're going to take out Zelina, but the referee had ejected them from the ring, and of course, Zelina's happy. She's facing the two women, and Chelsea's behind her, so Chelsea was going to get her distracted, but Zelina hit the hit and run, and is your new United States champion for the women, and that's cool. My only thing is, what's going to happen now with the Cabinet 2.0? Like, I really don't know. I mean, Piper Niven and Alba Fire are good as a tag team. They were good with Chelsea. That was pretty cool, but now that this has happened, I'm not sure where it's going to go. I'm pretty sure, though, you're still going to have Alba Fire and Piper Niven as a tag team, because I can't see them just breaking up. As for Chelsea, I have no idea. I mean, she could have another match at Backlash with Zelina, a rematch, but only time will tell. Chelsea was a good champion, and she got so much charisma, so we'll see what happens with that. I really liked those three as a stable. So, you had a backstage segment with The Miz and Carmelo Hayes. And, yeah, so Carmelo Hayes won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on SmackDown last week. So, he's backstage with The Miz, and The Miz presents him with this chain necklace, this gold chain necklace rather, with Andre's face on it. And then he's like, listen, you stay here, enjoy the trophy, enjoy the necklace. I have to take care of some business. So he goes out to the ring, and he starts going on about how he didn't get a match at WrestleMania, and he's pissed off about it. And honestly, I get it. This isn't the first time that Mike has gotten sidelined. This is probably his first WrestleMania where he hadn't competed, so that's a real shame, really. Like, I don't know, I feel that he could have been squeezed in somewhere, right? So he's just going off, and then the lights go off, and then Code Orange comes on. And of course, you all know what's going to happen. The second surprise of the night, in a way. The return of one Aleister Black. Now, I thought maybe it would have been cool if it would have been Malachi Black, but I guess AEW had that copyrighted, or maybe they had Aleister Black copyrighted. I don't even know. But yeah, he makes his way to the ring. Then he gets into the ring, staring at the Miz. The crowd goes wild. Then as the Miz starts talking, Aleister Black hits the black mass, and then sits cross-legged and just stares at the Miz. So I'm thinking there's your match right there at some point. And I thought about it too, like, Karrion Kross has really not much to do. Like, he had a match with AJ Styles, but that was it. So I'm kind of wondering, because now the Final Testament is no more, Aleister and Karrion. I mean, that would be pretty cool. But again, we'll see what happens in the future. But, you know, he just came back, so we'll see. So I had talked about the match with Drew McIntyre and LA Knight. Not a sidetrack from that, it was a disqualification, like I said. And yeah. I mean, you talk about WrestleMania and you go, alright, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest had a very good match, and basically Damian was going to be injured, I thought. Well, he came out during the match and just beat the shit out of Drew McIntyre, so it's like, I mean, there's a lot of things in wrestling right now that kind of baffle me. You could at least keep Drew and Damian separate. Have Damian not break kayfabe and stay away from the ring for maybe 3 weeks or whatever. But it is what it is. And then you have the main event. So this was a WrestleMania missed opportunity, because you had the Motor City Machine Guns DIY taking on the Street Profits for the WWE Tag Team Champions in a ladder match, a TLC match rather. And holy shit, because you talk about violence. I mean, there was a point where Chris Sabin did a dive and Montez Ford had the chair, and there was an actual shot to the head, which we don't see anymore, and for good reason. Actually, there was a lot of chair shots to the head in this match. I mean, there was a dive on the outside, they broke ladders, they broke tables. It was fucking epic. And I don't understand why they couldn't put this on the WrestleMania card. Hell, even put it on a pre-show, but this was awesome. And if you're not a wrestling fan anymore, you have to watch this match. And if that doesn't make you a wrestling fan, or you're not convinced, well, we're gonna miss you. Like, this was fucking awesome. They beat the piss and the shit out of each other. And I mean, you didn't know. Like, DIY could have won. There was a lot of close calls. But yeah. Like, Angelo Dawkins basically climbed up and grabbed the titles for him and Montez and retained the titles. And this was epic. This was so cool. And I don't know if we'll see another match like this. Like, it was so violent. This reminded me of 2001. And if you can get matches like this, holy shit. But Smackdown was a good show. And yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see who's going to face Jacob Fatu. Could end up being a fatal four-way, I think. Damian Priest, Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, LA Knight. We'll see if Zelina Vega will have a rematch with Chelsea Green. I think, well, you can have Randy Orton and John Cena at Backlash. I think you'll have Jade and Tiffany at Backlash. It's gonna be pretty cool. But SmackDown was very good. This was a very good, like, after WrestleMania Raw and SmackDown. I mean, could there have been more? I'm sure, but this was very cool. And we'll see what happens with Aleister Black. But anyways, look for the Wheels of Fury Rebellion predictions coming up soon. Talk to you later. Mean?
I don't know. So you know that them cutting WCW was a long time coming. I don't think that's the case at all. When you look at some of this earlier interviews,